Hello, friends. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the replay and welcome to this edition of Chalk Live with the Chalkettes. I'm Michelle Schreck, independent designer with Couture and your host for this edition of Chalk Live. If you're catching this on the replay, type in #replay. And if you're watching live, please type in where you're watching from and what crafty goodness you've been up to today. Type your questions in all caps, making it easy for me to see. And if I do miss your question, I'll come back and answer as soon as the live broadcast is over. Good morning, friends. Thanks for joining. Give it a second and let Facebook get all caught up. I see a few people are joining in. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Thanks for joining. There we have it. All right, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that share button. It's located in the bottom left corner of your mobile device. And just for fun, if we do get to 12 shares on the live, I'm going to be giving away a little prize. Now, our prizes are good for anybody that's not already a Chalk Couture designer. Sorry about that. That's just following the rules, but we can still have fun with it. Good morning. Good morning. Again, I'm going to remind you, type your questions in all caps, making it easy for me to see. And if you are catching me live, type in, let me know where you're watching from and what crafty goodness you've been up to. I see some comments starting to come in. Yay! Hi, Amber. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. So first things first, let me introduce you to Chalk Couture. Chalk Couture is the leader in high-end DIY home decor. We offer projects perfect for your home, your office, gift giving, and suited for every age and every skill level. There is no artistic ability or creativity required to be successful with these products. There's incredible silk screen technology that we use chalk paste. It goes on wet, it dries hard, and it won't smudge, it won't budge until after you take it off with water. We also have Couture inks for all your fabrics and anything that is heat resistant, like you've got ceramic coffee cups and things like that you might want to go ahead and ink the outside of and make it permanent and dishwasher safe. You can do that with our Couture inks. We also have handy tools and project kits and even a monthly subscription box that includes everything that you need to complete your own project delivered right to your front door. The supplies can be purchased directly through an independent designer like myself through the website that's listed below, or by becoming an independent designer all on your own. If you'd like information on how to join my Chalk team, type the word "me" into the description box below, and I'll send you info so that you can get hooked up with my opportunity group and go over all the options that are available to you. Again, all of my links are in the description of this video, and I'll make sure to put them in once we're done with the broadcast as well. For now, let's get chalking. Today, we're going to be playing with the pumpkins that I started the other day. This is one side that I did with the Give Thanks pumpkin design using the gold shimmer paste. I absolutely love how this turned out. But this is a double-sided pumpkin, so we're going to go ahead and flip it over. And the first thing we're going to do to get started is we're going to paint this thing. I bet you guys have not seen a lot of Chalk Couture designs being painted, but I'm going to go ahead and paint with our chalk paste. It's just another way that you can use this product. So I've got orange peel. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And let's see. We're going to get, what are we going to get? We're going to get a paintbrush. I've got a little paintbrush right here, and I'm going to spray my surface with a little bit of water. Now, this surface has been waxed, so I do not expect the water to soak in. I'm just trying to get it a little bit wet so that when I start applying the chalk paste, it's going to smooth out really easy. So I have my chalk at a perfect consistency. We want it to be like yogurt or cake batter, even sour cream. You want it to come off of the surface, off of your utensil easily. There we go. It's kind of holding onto these brushes, but it is a great consistency. And I'm just going to go over and do a light wash of color on this side of my pumpkin. This is step one for today's project. I love these pumpkins. there's also Christmas trees. And I just think they have done an incredible job making these designs. They stand up on their own. You can stack them. You can attach them to different things. It's really, really cool. And they're such a great price point. This is solid wood too. Loving that. So I'm going to get some color on here. And I wanted it to be somewhat thin, kind of watercolor almost looking. I'm going to paint the whole thing. Just kind of smooth out those brush strokes. And that's it for our orange. I think we got everything on there well. Do our little stem. And I'm going to go ahead and close this up, set my paintbrush aside. Done with it. And we're going to let that dry. Now, while I'm letting it dry, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the next step. And that is separating out our design that we're going to put on top of our pumpkin. So these pumpkin patterns come with all 4 of the pumpkin designs that you see here. You've got 2 for our large pumpkin and 2 for the small pumpkin. And I'm going to go ahead and cut them apart with our transfer trimmers. Now, our transfer trimmers are brand new Couture scissors that are made perfectly for these designs. They work well with the silk screen. The silk screen is kind of like a fabric. And so this is almost equated to a fabric scissor. And so they're non-stick. They work perfect for our transfer trimmers, for moving our transfers apart anywhere where you can cut them apart on these fine lines. And they don't leave any jagged edges, which I really love that because it's going to cut down on the amount of fraying that you might have. So I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to go ahead and write dots on the back of it because that is the design that we are using. Fantastic. And I'm going to set this large pumpkin off to the side and we're going to fuzz this small pumpkin up. I'm just going to take my finger and go to the corner so that it lifts a little bit of it off. I'm going to remove the carrier sheet away from the design transfer and I'm going to put it upside down on my fuzzing cloth. This is going to allow me to pick up a little bit of fuzz, making this transfer just a little bit less sticky. And that is important when we're working with layers. It's important when we're working with wood or metal. It is also really, really important when you're doing any kind of glass or super smooth surface. Like you can chalk your windows, your walls, your cupboards, your front door, anything that you like, but you want to make sure that your transfer is prepared so that it doesn't stick so hard that when you're removing it, it might curl, it might stretch, it can even tear if you're not really careful. So we want to make sure that it's well fuzzed up. And I see that my chalk is not quite dry. It's starting to dry, which is kind of neat. It's the reverse of embossing powder. It goes on wet and you have that nice shiny look, and when it's dry, it actually is matte, so you can tell that it's dry. I'm going to speed things up just a little bit by using my heat gun on it, so we're going to have a little bit of loud noise really, really quickly. And if you are sensitive to noise, go ahead and turn down your volume on your screen so that it's not bothering you. And we'll need about 30 seconds. All right, we've helped that along nicely. Now, if you don't have a heat gun, not to worry. You can also do this by just letting this sit and dry on its own. It will dry very quickly on its own, but for the purpose of our video today, I wanted to speed things up just a little bit. You can also use a hairdryer, and I recommend that you do it on the cool setting, because any surface that you do use a hairdryer or heat gun on, you need to let it come directly back to room temperature, and you don't don't want it to be warm to the touch at all. That can affect your transfer when you put it on your design on your surface. So you want to just be cognizant of that. Make sure that you know that's happening. Okay, now I'm in Texas, and Texas has a bit of humidity, especially in the summertime, you can imagine. So to be on the safe side, to try to help keep my paste from lifting off between layers, I'm going to go ahead and wax my actual pumpkin. So I have a wax cloth here that is well loved and well used, and I'm just using my Minwax finishing paste. I'm going to grab some, and I'm going to go ahead, let's see, let me protect my surfaces. So let me grab this, put it down first. There we go. And we'll put the pumpkin on here, and that's just going to keep the wax from getting all over my work surface. Get a little bit of wax on my rag, and I got way more than I need, and just go over the top of this really quickly. That's it for the wax. So all that excess just goes right back in the jar, just like our chalk paste. It's covered. And we're going to let that dry just for a second. Does anybody have any questions? What kind of paint did I use? Well, I used Chalkology paste, and I used the color Orange Peel. I just wet my surface down first. It was waxed beforehand, which helps keep the paste from soaking in really, really heavily into the wood. You want to do that anytime that you're using a wood surface. But I waxed it, I wet it slightly, and then I used my chalk paste and just put a thin layer of color over the top. And then we let that dry, and I helped it out a little bit with the heat gun. I love this color of Orange Peel. So we're going to let the wax just sit for a second. We want it to dry before we do the next step. Otherwise, what happens is it just attaches itself to the back of the transfer, and that's not necessarily a great thing either. So let's see. All right, so it's dried a bit, so I'm just going to go over it with my rag here. Get the swirl marks out. This is kind of equates to buffing it. Make sure that I don't see any more heavily shiny areas, and I don't, so we're good to go there. And now let's grab our design, and these designs are made exactly to fit on the pumpkin, so it takes the guesswork completely out of it. You just line it up and put it on. How easy is that? Now I am going through and smoothing it out because I don't want to have air bubbles. Air bubbles are not your friend when you're doing silkscreen designs. Any product that you put on a silkscreen, if you've got air bubbles, it's going to seek it out, and that kind of just doesn't work great. Okay, so now the big question, what color are we going to make this pumpkin? Because what's going to happen is the dots are going to show through in orange. So we're going to actually be coloring the background of the pumpkin. And I can do one color, or I can do two colors and actually go into an ombre. So you let me know what you think you would like to see. Do you want to see it as one color or two colors as an ombre? One or two. Love it. Love it. It is super cute. And I have a thing for polka dots. So this is really, really right up my alley. When I saw this, I was like, yes, please. I have got to do those polka dots. One color. All right. We will do one color. So let's see. My screen is blipping on me, so I'm going to bring you guys back up so I can see the comments again. Oh, we've got two. We've got votes for one. We've got votes for two. So let's give it a second and see what anybody else says. I do love doing an ombre. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Patty. Let's see. Molly's with me and Amanda's with me. Good morning, ladies. Thanks for joining today. One color or two? If we do two, we're going to do it as an ombre. Hello, Vicki. Good morning. Thanks for joining. We're waiting to see what somebody says. We need a tiebreaker. Do we want one color or two? And if we do two colors, we're going to go with ombre. Okay, Vicki says two. Two is going to be our winner. So the colors that I have for doing the ombre are grape soda and black velvet. I think those are going to blend really nicely together, and it's going to be a stark contrast with our orange dots that are going to be showing through. So to do an ombre, it can be a little bit intimidating, but really it's super, super easy. So you just have to go with it and not be afraid. Plus, you got to remember, it's just chalk. It's just paste. If you don't like how it turns out, you can always change it. So we have our black, we have our purple. I had prepared them earlier today, so hopefully they're still a nice, good consistency. And I'm going to use our small squeegee. This is actually a mini squeegee, and I'm going to start with purple on top, and I'm going to go light to dark. So I'm just going to apply the purple right over the top of the silk screen. Love this grape color on top of this orange. Oh my goodness, the contrast is going to be so lovely. So we're going to go ahead and apply that. I'm not worried about using too much because the excess can go right back into the jar. Now, once we start mixing color, you don't want to put that back in the jar, but that is our second step. There is our purple excess back in the jar. And let's grab another mini squeegee and let's do some black. Oh my goodness, isn't it so adorable already? Oh, love it. You know, this would be really cute to do teal polka dots. If you went with teal right over the wood, you could have the white polka dots showing through, and then that would show that you have allergy safe food. If you put that in your window or in your front porch decoration, it lets people know, for those trick-or-treaters that are sensitive, that you have allergy friendly items or non-food items. That's another great way to use this. Okay, so right here where they come together, what we're going to do, I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab just a little spatula, and I'm going to do some dots of black. And I'm going to grab another spatula, and I'm going to do some dots. You can see I barely have any on there. I'm going to do some dots of purple. All right, purple. Okay, I'm going to take my spray bottle and I'm going to just squirt some water on my mat. Then I'm going to take my two fingers and I'm going to get my fingers wet with that water. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to swirl. Ooh, I need to hold on to my pumpkin. And I'm going to bring the black up into that purple. Bring the purple down into the black, because I don't want to have super harsh lines. I think that is going to be good. So let me wipe my fingers off really quickly. And let's peel it and reveal it and see what we have. Oh my goodness. How cute is that? Okay, so I see a couple of things that I'm not loving, but overall, I'm liking the effect of it. What's happened is I let my purple dry just a little bit too much up in the top, so when it lifted off of the silk screen, it brought some of the paste with it. That's okay. We're going to let it dry. I can lay this back down over the top and go over those purple spots, or I can take a tiny little paintbrush and I can go in and fill in those purple spots. No big deal at all. And I can do that once it's all nice and dry. But overall, I love, love, love the look of this. How about you guys? What do you think of our pumpkin with the ombre effect? Yay! I'm so glad you guys like it. So cute. Now you could do this in reverse and you could have your ombre as what you painted in the background and do your dots over the top in another color. So you can do it both ways. And then your dots would actually be ombre. Isn't that cute? Now, you could actually go in and put a sentiment over the top of this if you wanted to do another layer. And I might decide to do that later on as we get closer into the month of October. Just a way to revamp it. But now I've got my pumpkin with my gold Give Thanks pumpkin on one side over the white. Let's see if I can hold that. There we go. And then when I want to change it, I've got my other side with my ombre polka dots. Loving it. Let's see. Let me grab a tiny little paintbrush and I'm going to take some of that water that is on my mat, and I'm going to take some of this purple that's on my spatula and see if we can just touch up. Yes, see, it moves really, really easily over the top of that wax. I don't know if y'all can tell how easily that touched up right there. Let's see, we'll do a couple more spots. And of course the light is also reflecting on it too. So I'm trying to move it for the light too. Now these bigger areas, like right in here, I think I would either leave that alone or I would go back and do it with the silk screen over the top once I've got the silk screen clean and dry again, which that is super easy to do. It just takes a few minutes, but I would want to err on the side of caution for those big spots. Love this wood. It is so nice. This product is such a fantastic addition to the surfaces that Couture offers. I'm really, really happy with it. And I love the Christmas trees too. I've got the Christmas trees out if you guys would like to see them. Let me just go ahead and grab those. I'm going to set this over to the side. Put our pumpkin down so you can see our two sizes of the pumpkins. And the Christmas trees actually come with 3 different sizes, which is a lot of fun. So you have a small, it's fantastic. You have a medium that is just a straight edge tree. And then you have the large traditional Christmas tree shape as well. And these have patterns that go on top of them and fit perfectly too. Just like the pumpkins come with 4 patterns, the Christmas tree patterns that are made to fit these designs particularly come with 5 different patterns you can use on the different shapes of trees. It's really, really nice. Love that. I haven't tried to remove the paste over the wax. I would think that you could probably remove it down to the first layer. We could definitely try that after the holidays over when I'm getting ready to change things out. I don't mind coming back and seeing if we can remove it. Now I have used our palette boards, our mini palette board. I went in, I waxed it, I sealed it. I did a wash of color on it. For mine, I did a really light coat of Couture teal because I wanted that color for the background. I waxed it again and I sealed it again. And then I was able to use my transfers over the top to create a design in light colors. And when I was done, I could take it off and use another light color. I haven't tried anything dark on it. Like I haven't used a dark green or a black on it. So I don't know how those would react. And I imagine over time you would want to wax it and seal it again if you're changing it out a lot. But that was a trick that I used just to try it out and see how it would work. I loved how it turned out. Now, Chalk Couture does say that these surfaces are meant to be one-time surfaces. So you use the one side and then you're done. You use the other side and then you're done. But if you can get extra uses out of them, why not? I seal my surfaces with Krylon sealer. I use the matte sealer. They also have a glossy sealer. You can buy that at just about any home hardware store, or several craft stores also sell it. I buy the spray paint kind, and I do really light coats, several very light coats of the sealer. I have it laying flat, so you want to do it super light so it doesn't pull or puddle. And let it dry very well in between coats. But it's an easy process to do. I've had my one can for about 4 months and I seal a lot of things. So a little bit goes a long way. You're welcome. That was a great question. The pumpkins are Chalk Couture. They are out of the brand new catalog. And you can see in my description of the video, I've got my links to my store for Chalk Couture, so you can go in there and have a look-see at what is available. There's lots of surfaces. They've come out with some beautiful, beautiful new surfaces for this catalog. Love it. Great questions. Thanks so much. So now that you've seen how fast and easy Chalk Couture can be, if you would like to know how to make money beautifully by becoming a designer, you can type the word me into the description box below. I'll send you an invitation to my opportunity group, and that'll go over all the details and the various options available to you. You're not committed to anything by typing me. It just gets you an invitation to the group so that you can learn more. All my links are in the description box for the video. I'm going to go ahead and link them again once the video is over. You can connect with me on all different types of social media. I'm there either as Michelle Schreck or as Madeitsparkle. Thanks for the hearts and likes. I love it. Thanks so much. All right, you guys stay tuned for another Chalk-It coming live for another live Chalk. Sorry, let me say that again. Another Chalk Live coming to you tomorrow. And you can join me again on Wednesday at 6:30 when I'm going to come back with more chalking fun. And I think we're going to be tackling the hot mess on Wednesday. I'm really excited. So until then, I'm going to remind you, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and happy crafting.